starting on the attacking side. Meanwhile, EDG looking like they just want to barrel forward, down, or up rather, be long here and just close out that part of the map.
It's worth noting, first time the Texture has ever played ISO in an official match.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring, but I'm glad we got that checked because this is a big departure from the Jet and the Rays.
Blue.
I am very curious to see what Genji is cooking. Well, it helps when you're Texture and you can just, you know, tap people.
ISO versus the Chamber, but it's going to be a nice flash setting up Potter for big success. Simon once again proving his worth as that support agent. And that's going to clear out B long. Still 3 members remaining for Genji, but EDG sitting comfy with 4. They just want to clear out the rest of the map. If it's A, we'll just go for the retake. We're holding on to Art, so we have multiple ways of entering onto the site. And that's the game plan right now for the Chinese squad. The world champions, we should note, of course, still the core members here.
Yeah, still 3v4 that Genji is going to have to deal with. Only a couple shock darts for this post plant, so that's going to send Yeoman deep. And there's already pings coming out from EDG. They're already reading this pretty nicely, so Yeoman's going to have to deal with some pressure.
Oh, he's getting up close. He doesn't want to get lost on the far side, but Simon just creeping up right down the main path. Not taking any sort of height advantage, throws Yeoman off, and now that is the signal for the retake. Potter double sliding in, just wants to make sure he clears out all the close angles. Want to check for any sort of spam, and Foxy9 shows himself from Flowers. He's actually still alive. Munchkin still not spotted. This is huge. A lot of deception there with the gate crash, baits him out, and Munchkin's ready for it with the double right click.
Masih solid
What
ya,
a beautiful
sekarang.
post plant there from Foxy9 and Munchkin. So well set up. Just 2 huge kills for Foxy, and Munchkin just waiting in the dugout for his moment to step up to the plate, and he knocks it out of the park. Crazy good stuff.
Yeah, really well set up. Munchkin not firing a single shot. You'll love to see that. Just the confidence they have in their setup. And the comms must have been very clear there on Foxy9 what his intention was.
Halo lo, Saprio. Halo, Pin.
That's
Welcome ya,
just
bro.
so perfect. I mean, they have no choice but to peek out of the smoke. It's a little bit difficult. Not sure. Now EDG once again focused on the B side, but this time just with Headhunter and Sheriffs in hand. Chloe's gonna get passed by, but Texture hitting that swing out again against Chichu.
He's just built different. Oh, Karan as well. With that single tap of the Guardian. Takes down nobody, trying to lurk through mid. 4 players gonna try to go through this angle. It's a great slide, a great kill. Understanding the gun situation, however, Yeoman's turn.
Yeah, now there's so many members coming out against Potter, so he tries to slide in, not gonna get the kill. Yeah, sure, you get the run by, but can't really survive past that.
Kakak nggak masuk roster kok? Atau untuk tour? Ya, untuk tour off season aja.
Toast, just a classic.
Untuk tour off season aja, bener-bener.
He's taking so much damage crawling in. Maybe gets Foxy9, but he's not even going to check. Foxy9 will find him. It's a nice, clean round. 4 members left alive for Genji.
Yeah, really sharp shooting from Texture to open this up. That's 2 first kills already for him in 2 rounds. Looking to try to push that ACS. You gotta pump those numbers up, bro. Pump them up. Here he has his ult. Here he has a kill contract as well.
That's huge.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's pretty big, especially, I mean, coming into your bonus round, right? If you can just force that fight, and if you are able to take down an early weapon, maybe even get an upgrade if it's somewhere up close, that should be a great way of entry here for the ISO.
Well, I think you can use it to clear stuff like Cubby on B, like back alley on B, like stuff like that. That could be really, really powerful. Art as well on A. Like, there's so many angles actually that, you know, the defensive side might leave isolated that you can kind of identify and knock down. Potentially, so I can definitely see the value in running the ISO on this map. Still haven't seen much from like the contingency or that wall or the vulnerable, but Texture's is good enough. You can just get it done with his guns.
Yeah, so
and the double tap helps, of course. But
yeah, of course, but that's off of that first kill. So
halo semua,
it's pretty clear what the value is. I think having the confidence.
Iya, jadi si Kangen tuh diganti sama si siapa ya? Si Tos asal sama si Tos.
In fact, I mean, this is all
Sementara
about
doang, doang. Gua tau deh kenapa Kakak main.
You're able to just push forward this time once again with the double tap, trying to continue that momentum. He uses it, gets the ultimate, ties up the Astro. If anything, you're still going to get the free kill from your teammates, and Texture will still get it for himself, refresh the shield. Meanwhile, Genji just cleaning house on the backup. And this is the type of pressure that ISO can put on, right? You trap one guy, even if he wins the duel, the rest of his teammates have to swarm around to try to protect him afterwards.
Yeah, it is a really good ultimate in a lot of different situations, and that's why you would see it a lot on Haven and maps like that. Like bigger maps, you can really allow yourself to either spread the map, go for that early pick, or in situations like you're talking about, like post plant, something like that, Karan's gonna find the last player, nobody taken down.
Masih bonus loh padahal.
Start here as Genji converts their bonus, but
3-0 ya buat
yeah,
Genji.
it's so oppressive at
Genji
times.
gue bilang
Good
masih
ISO
inilah,
players are
masih
so frustrating to play
kandidat juara.
against, you know,
Dia udah ganti roster padahal.
you know,
Udah
Dirk,
rubah roster,
whatever, it
tapi
doesn't
roster
matter
itu
who's playing
sepadan.
it, like,
Masih sepadan sampai sekarang.
Alpha, excuse me.
Alpha, of course,
Sorry,
yeah,
Alpha.
the kind of main one. I think swapped around a couple times, but
Yeah. But absolutely, like players like that it just have such natural good aim, like texture,
yes.
that you're basically winning like 75% or more of your kill contracts. Like, it's so disgusting. And like you're saying, even if you lose it, well, if you've already taken that site, then it doesn't matter. That player's dead anyway.
Yeah, but EDG, they stick true to their plan, and they say we want to push out very fast, either A main or B long. And this is what the meta eventually evolved into when
Nobody
was
kecuali
taking the
0-0.
map, which is erase one part of the map. But if you're getting erased off of it, it's not going to mean much. Map control given over to Genji. Chichu all alone, just a headhunter in hand. Finds the Euro, but doesn't find the shot. Now he's
Yung palit
cornered
tayo,
all
guys.
the way into
Yang
the
baru
back
join.
corner. Texture repositioning.
Halo,
Gets the
Fami,
double tap, refresh,
Ronin,
and another free
Kacang ya,
round for
Rico.
Genji.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the value already with the double tap at the very least for these B executes.
Kokolele farm.
It gives you that extra ability to absorb one of those long angle shots or the cubby, you know, peak or something like that. So, you know, in a part of the map where if you're not running a Viper, for example, and you don't have that big wall to cut off a lot of space as you try to...
Kalian dukung siapa, guys? Coba kalian komen deh. Kalian
yeah,
dukung siapa?
It's really nice to have that double tap. It just gives you that free extra bullet.
Siapa yang kalian dukung? Yang kalian support buat menang?
And then overstack those numbers and overstack those angles.
Yeah, that was the one obvious thing that everyone noticed as soon as ISO was even announced, right? Was that, okay, well, this is an anti-op agent. But then on top of that, if you're running the chamber, it's an anti-chamber agent, right? The headhunter, the first shot's not going to work even on an eco. And so, like you said, it's perfect to just at least waffle the control of B long and make sure it doesn't get given over for free to the defenders or the attackers, quite frankly.
Kita nobar ya sekarang ya. EDG lawan Genji ini off season.
With rifles in hand once more.
Cuma dapat tim.
Go for a Hail Mary. They want to make sure they keep these weapons in hand for as long as possible. A lot of attention to mid, but Texture just not losing a single first duel today. Takes down Potter. It's a nice trade from Toast. But at the end of the day, Genji still applying pressure, making sure EDG cannot push out any further than the middle of the map for the line of scrimmage. Dimensional Drift comes out for info.
Yeah, this is so difficult for EDG to deal with. They're able to at least get Karan down. Foxy9 has so much information.
Langsung dapat A mereka ya, udah clear.
Yeah, Fragment's gonna come through. Plant still, no, he had to pull off of it. Nobody actually
kediri
find
deh.
Munchkin as
Planting
well on the
ya.
backside.
It's you
Yeah,
and
they
me.
still have good control of Flowers. Meanwhile, a kill contract comes out. The Texture, if he can win
Ayo,
this one,
Genji.
give them a little bit more breathing room. But
Oh.
Simon, good
Kalah
with the
dengan-
jiggle. And that's the cue for Toast to swing out and
1-4
get a nice
buat
double.
EDG,
3K
1
for the
poin
round, and
pertama
they get their first score on
di
the
game
board.
ini.
Yeah, now the aim is starting to come under the grasp of EDG. Simon there winning a huge one. Texture just a little bit off balance, long enough for Simon to find that kill. So really, really important that that round was able to be turned around. Genji finally on the back foot a little bit. That's 2 kill contracts already in 5 rounds. Absolutely banana stuff from Texture, but you got a few ultimates to play with. You've got the Cosmic Divide, you've got the Lightning Fingers for Potter, you've got the Null Command for Simon. So you've got some opportunities maybe to go for maybe a bigger explosive play. I can already see the Fade and the Neon. Maybe toying with some art pressure. The pings are coming
Mereka
through.
push mid lagi deh, EDG.
Yeah, they're gonna try to push
Buat
mid.
cari
They're
info
gonna try
kan.
to take some control, but Genji's just kind of
Tapi A ditinggalin, ada Flower, satu orang si Faye sama Keo.
Yeah, A main given for free, but very good control of mid. Refilling the site nice and early as well. Both the Fade and the KO here, so they've got some
Tiga masuk
abilities
komen A ya,
to make sure they
masih
discourage
cari-cari
some
info.
explosive entry. And quite frankly,
Itu
without
Karun
the
juga
Neon,
masih
without
stay di
even
mid kok.
the Raze or even the Jet, Genji not going to have the speediest of entries. When
Masih
you
aware
go
sama
for
di
it,
mid.
It's a lot more deception and setting up with things like the flashes and the first picks.
Tuh mereka gak langsung ke A ya.
doing a good job.
Istilahnya
pulling
fake lah.
back, feeling a little bit too much contact.
Lumayan seru ya guys, nonton di udah lama agak.
Explode
Udah
out the
tim-tim
site
yang
probably the way they would have liked to.
mapnya di Pearl jarang loh.
Just take their time, try to get this through. Haunt comes in, not going to reveal anybody on the side of Genji. They're going to try to reaggress. Both duelists here going to try to work together. So Foxy9 and Texture in tandem. Yo man, oh my god. This is so
Three
dangerous.
Yo, man,
members. Is he ready?
timing
for it?
banget.
He finds one, he
Anjir.
finds two, he almost
Dapat
gets
dua
the
dong.
third. They
Gila.
absolutely are not watching out for him in time, and he gets the clean headshot. Simon holding close, so is he ready for the double? He jumps in, but Texture's ready. They're holding the angle as a crossfire right at the smoke. Texture, nice swing adjustment as well for a second kill, and there is the from the shadows set up by Munchkin cross map, pushing both sites at the same time. As soon as one's clear, you go for the plan, Chichu. He's ahead of it. Munchkin not ready for it, but there's just too many angles to check as Genji keeps the lead at 4.
Halo dito.
Yo-man there, standing tall, just finds the right timing. They were watching it for the longest time, and right as
Mereka mah santai sih
nobody
kelihatannya.
stepped out,
Santai aja mainnya.
it was the end of EDG.
Off season soalnya.
EDG is gonna take a timeout.
Timeout buat EDG.
South, they're gonna be a little bit off kilter on the economy. And
Kita lihat apakah mereka bisa membalikkan keadaan.
in this next round. You can see there nobody.
Ini sih yang dari window tuh agak timing tadi ya.
Simon guessed wrong on what angle player would be from. Turned out it probably guessed wrong.
Kan di mana, Bang?
Maybe he gets one there,
Di YouTube.
in that smoke.
Kalian cari aja di YouTube.
Most likely he's not getting both.
Gwangju Esports. Bentar. Apa ya namanya? Kalian cari VCT Toro ada kok. Cari VCT Pacific di YouTube.
But it's always a 50-50 coin toss at that point. But at the end of the day, Yo-Man getting that double was massive. And even then, I mean, nobody had his eyes trained there, like you said. Swings away just at the last second to try to help clear the other side of mid, and that's when Yo-Man decides to peek out for extra info.
Peres kapan main ya?
Clean shot.
Gak ada bang, gak ada Peres sih bang.
Potter's arm, so he
Bentar, gua tadi coba ya. Off-seasonnya Peres
But
kapan ya?
aside from that, even strategically, Genji going back to their tried and true. Okay, we're gonna go for a far rotate then, and then since we have the Omen ultimate, we're gonna put both sides.
Soalnya main cuma T1,
Great.
Genji, tim Cina sama tim Korea. Genji, DG, TE sama T1. Yang main di turnamen off-season ini.
Yeah, and it's something that Genji has to do. Like with the way that they've been running.
Gak sabar aku main, benar.
Here in the off season.
Ada nih. Tanggal 21 November Peres main non Genji. Di Valorant Radian Asia off season juga.
You know, they're very happy to play these like double duelists or single duelists with a couple controllers, no traditional setup.
Kalau Boom mainnya kapan ya? Boom Esports.
Rotate you, outwork the map, and that shows a lot of confidence in their coaching staff and in Munchkin and all that kind of stuff. They're able to put
Boom Predator berarti ya.
Have that Hunter's Fury.
Tanggalnya 9 November katanya. 9 November. Bener sih sama. Gue juga gak liat, gak sabar nonton si Foxy9. Kok si Foxy9 sih? Siapa roster baru? Asik. Iya. Si Dos9 kok Foxy9. Dos9. Juga pelatih baru kan? Si Mio udah cabut tuh.
Now Genji already entering into B link. Nobody. He's already distracted, watching towards
Pinter ya,
main.
mereka.
And then the TP in, and Foxy9 gets a free kill. That's the signal for Karon to start pushing through. It's a double stack here at B link. Texture goes down, but Karon's still alive. Hunter's Fury to keep them tied up, and now it's the signal to rotate. We've drawn enough attention. They're heavy on B, and Karon wants to make sure that he holds on to mid, gets taken down. Information denied against Genji.
Yeah, this is really good stuff from EDG. They've got gun upgrades all across the board as well. Still have that fade ultimate into the post plant potentially. Munchkin trying to push his way forward, but already nobody's here. Oh, the smoke just
timing. Tapi dapat sih harusnya. Nice shot. 25 untuk EDG. Mereka start mainnya lebih rapi sih.
Yeah, this is a really good.
Mereka aware tadi yang dari Flower.
Kind of overcommits, you know, a little bit of noise made by Texture there with his rifle. Sort of alerts them to the presence, and against an eco, you know, you're gonna have to expect to over-rotate, so this one, probably they'd like to...
Kakak mana? Gak tau bang, pokoknya dia diganti sama Tos. Off-season doang tapi. Cuma off-season. Jadi emang agak-agak ini ya, agak-agak kurang ya DG ya, gak ada kangkang.
Crisscross applesauce in there, but that's exactly what they're gonna plan. They're trying to push out with this op, but yeah, Genji seems somewhat aware.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a push out somewhere, at least with something from EDG. So Genji's pretty well prepared for it. There is the pop blast right past the clone. He just fires through it. Gets the collapse through the clone. And now that is full control. Spike down as well. So the operator now on watching the flank duty over on Art, right next to his trademark. It's still a two-man stack. Double tap view. Nobody just trying to get it off, and he does. He actually gets to scratch through the smoke. The shield is off, and now they just want to run the timer
Udah
out.
cari si Kakang,
Love this
kenapa
awareness
dia
from EDG.
nggak main?
Really, really smart right now. And it's a great push again by Potter. Even though he dies
Belum
for the
dapat info
cause,
sih.
it's very worth.
Kenapa dia
And
di
you just
sub?
can't aggress this angle.
Tapi setahu gue cuma
Try,
off-season.
but you're gonna get off.
Cuma sementara.
The Astra down. Texture,
Baru info
no
deh.
more double tap for the time being.
Tapi dia masih di EDG kok, aman-aman.
To some value, swings out. Nice adjustment on the headshot. The swings have been pretty good from Texture
Di
so
mana?
far today.
Di YouTube bang, YouTube. Ketik aja VCT Pacific. Di YouTube, ketik VALORANT Tour Pacific atau VCT Pacific, harusnya udah muncul sih live-nya. Nice shot 35 untuk EDG.
Gets an inkling of it, but Toast will get the shot.
Yeah, now let's see if maybe there's a counter timeout from Solo. He's back and he might have something to say.
Iya lagi gacor bener. Gua setuju sama lu.
Timer's still ticking down, so Genji down to the wire with the money.
T1 juga lagi gacor.
Guardian there. There's plenty of money in the other pockets. Maybe they'll try to buy up, but that's crazy. That is absolutely insane, Potter.
Yeah, I mean, Potter looks pretty comfy on the Neon. Obviously, we've seen some great Neon.
Kemarin menang juga, iya.
To that point just yet. But he does look like he knows exactly what his job
Intinya
is.
T1 tuh berubah. Maksudnya season yang baru ini harusnya mantap. Tapi kan masih off season ya. Gak tahu nanti kalau udah seasonnya gimana. Kakak gak main bang. Marcel gak main. Marcel Lee, kakak gak main. Dia di sub karena off season doang. Dia diganti sama Tos kok, sama si Tos. Dan Astra. Sementara doang tapi ya. Bukan cabut dari EDG kok.
There's always a couple players pushing one end of the map or the other, try to challenge.
T1 si favorit gua di Korea sekarang ya, sama Genji. Kalau kemarin kan sama Genji tuh, ya oke. Sekarang gua bilang T1 masih oke sekarang T1.
Nobody takes a scrape of damage. Yeoman down to 85. Just gonna wait this one out a little bit and have that cosmic divide. Could potentially try to make a go of it. That nightfall there. Be a little tough because those tethers are.
You want to fight it?
Yeah, and so we are going to see the Astra ultimate come out, like you mentioned, just trying to sneak in.
Kita bahas ya.
There's the fragment to buy time. Then there's the nightfall as well to deny any sort of information. Do they go for a double peek out? Yeoman with a nice shock dart against Simon. I think he got scouted by the recon as well. So they're
Rasa Bagikan mereka full Korea sekarang ya. Udah gak pakai bahasa Inggris, jadi mungkin lebih enak mungkin. Kan kalau season lalu kan masih pakai bahasa Inggris.
Needs to slice up these angles, find single
Ini
shot
sekarang full Korea.
Shot. Just kill after kill. Drone getting taken down. Not
kayak Janji yang sekarang, Janji yang kemarin.
Shiju needs to fish for these kills, but now they know his exact position. And Genji has no reason to peek until they hear the tap on the defuse. There's the one way as well. EDG looking like they want to go for the save with the operator.
Kakak pensi enggak bang, pemula jir enggak. Dia cuma di sub sementara. Karenanya gue gak tahu kenapa. Pokoknya dia di sub cuma untuk off season. Nanti di season berlanjut dia udah main kok. Iya mereka kurang semua, jadi enak nukom sih ya. Jadi ada bawang, aduh. Bener-bener. Cuma satu season.
Yeah, I mean, just this past round, just to like push them out, right?
Yeah,
nothing to like set up kills or anything like that just yet. But overall,
tapi kalau SQRed bisa bahasa Korea, gue bilang sih mantap sih. Masih the best IGL lah. Cuman karena kendala bahasa mungkin ya. Karena Korea nggak semua orang bisa bahasa Korea, nggak bisa bahasa Inggris, jadi mungkin masih agak bingung kali. Agak nggak lancar ngomong bahasa Inggrisnya. Where is Kangkang? Kangkang not going playing on off season, bro.
It's you and me.
He's being sub only for off season. Iya, maksudnya bahasa Korea kan cuman basic ya, dikit-dikit lah.
Just comboing their utility.
Bisa deh bahasa Korea. Cuma sekarang kan dia jadi sub ya. Gak tahu kapan bakal dipanggil lagi.
Double tap into the ultimate. You know, the ultimate before that as well to take nobody out. So it's just a great staggering of abilities there, including the ults for the side of Genji. And now they look like they've kind of figured this out. They understand how and when to fight these battles. You know, this time they're pushed up a little bit further forward.
Comeback gak sih EDG? Enggak ya?
Instead of like waiting way back by A lobby to take
EDG berhasil
postpone to EDG. And they're able to come out ahead. Toast just nothing to do but chill. just wait this one out.
Yeah, just has to save that over. The econ starting to fall behind quite a bit for EDG. Genji sitting comfy.
Karo pindah kemana bang?
Stack across the board.
Karo bukannya
Scoreline, only 2 rounds remaining in the first half, and Genji will finish it in the lead no matter what.
Yep, and
lupa.
Yo man back there, he's laughing, he's having a good time again, man. It's good to see vibing right there with the rest of Genji as they set up to try to take
bentar. Aku bingung kok Karon pindah. Karon kan dia tetap ini kan, dia sign kembali.
Available, so should be popping that. Cosmic Divide and the no command for Simon, so how do they want to play this? You know, EDG, they had a couple rounds of success with their change of strategy, but
Lagi belum ada.
you know, figured it out again. Munchkin
Lagi tuh kayak nasibnya kayak si ini deh, Escurate deh.
his ability to adapt on the fly.
Cuma jadi sub.
Different plays to understand what his
Gua
opponent's
cek sih dia jadi sub doang sih ini.
They're gonna send that TP deep again.
Masih di Genji kok, masih di Genji. Cuman kayak dia diperbolehkan untuk cari tim.
Toast actually jumps down. I thought that was risky, but he's actually going to be able to hold on to not just the site, but also be all the way to the end. A 3K for the youngster here on EDG, being given an opportunity to get some experience, prove himself perhaps to a wider audience. And boy, that round proves it right there. Texture not able to enter the site, trying to find.
Kakak udah pindah kan, Sebastian? Belum. Kakak masih di Genji kok, masih roster utama. Cuman karena ada off-season, dia di sub dulu sementara. Gak tau deh kenapa. Gue dia belum main. Off-season ini dia gak main. Kakak kemana? Kakak di sub bang, di sub. Cuman buat ini, cuman buat off-season kok. Nanti dia main lagi kok. Kakak masih jadi roster utama, cuman di off-season ini kan masih off-season tuh. Dia di sub dulu. Gak tau deh kenapa. Iya, EDG tuh emang underdog sih. Tim yang VCT kemarin underdog, dia apa underdog? Masih gak habis pikir. Soalnya Genji kan udah kalah di awal ya. Genji kemarin agak goyang, kalah sama Sen. Heretic juga gak tau deh. Genji sih GG sih. Mereka bahkan bisa menang, hampir menang di awal loh pas di ban itu. Cuman timnya disiplin. Iya, gue setuju sih.
Boy, overdrive popped and already past A main, trying to use that C's to set a Potter.
Bener. Lebih disiplin. Mereka mainnya nggak gimana ya? Seperlunya lah maksudnya. Nggak overpay, nggak ego pick gitu loh.
Over for Chicha to peek out mid, he finds a little bit of sight of Foxy9 and he will back off. So everybody back to square one, but nobody from a very forward position trying to buy time on A main.
And this is gonna be good opportunity here for EDG.
Makanya tim Cina tuh tim yang sangat potensial sekarang. Perez gue bilang nggak ada harapan sih buat nanti VCT. Soalnya banyak tim-tim yang udah berkembang. Bagikan mereka belum ganti roster ya? Tuh bener. Rosternya sama ya, gue bilang tetap gameplay masih sama. Tetap W Gaming sih. Masih sama. Belum bang Kuku, belum. Naktan belum. Jadi Kangkang tuh karena dia off season, dia di sub sementara, tapi gak tau deh kenapa. Dia belum main. Nanti pas season mulai dia udah main kok. Ini cuma diganti sementara doang.
Oh wow, yeah, I think so.
Thank you Matia for the like. Iya, Perez harus ganti. Nah, ganti ke siapa ini nggak tahu nih. Siapa yang perlu digantiin? Izumi, thank you udah di like, udah di follow. Thank you. Menurut kalian siapa guys? Kalau PRX, siapa roster yang perlu diganti menurut kalian? Coba, sama nggak pemikiran kita? Siapa yang perlu diganti roster PRX? Genji keras ya.
Genji leads 8-4.
Yeah, I mean, really just seeing a lot of what they want to accomplish with this composition. It's not quite the same as what we saw with the Yoru with T1. The ISO's a little bit more slow, a little bit more methodical, but it gives you some extra tools to take those angles in a different
method,
sih,
betul. Gua tuh bilangnya antara Jing sih. Gua lebih ke Jing sih. Kalau Jing something diganti duelisnya. Sisanya gue masih aman. Davai 4 second sama Mindfit itu masih aman. Iya, betul. Sama, betul. duelisnya.
sucks. When you're playing
Karena Jing
against
sama
him,
Santi tuh gak fleksibel.
it just sucks.
Yeah,
Gak
it's a
fleksibel,
little tough,
main
but overall,
duelisnya
I mean, I think you
cuman
still
gitu-gitu
see,
doang.
you know, the core of EDG, the calling from nobody, the reads are still
Apalagi
coming in
Neon
pretty
sekarang kan
accurately.
Neon
They
meta ya,
understand
Neon.
the win conditions of both comps, and
Nah,
this is what you get
si
from the
Jing
World
gua liat dari
Champions,
stream
right?
sih
Sure,
belum
you have
main
two
Neon.
youngsters who, you know, they're a little bit shaky every now and then. We
Iya,
don't really know what
4
they're
second.
capable of just quite.
Gue sih dukung 4 second paling jadi duelis sih.
Flow of the map, still a pretty good grasp here as we return to Pearl. Lots of fans showing up again. We did have a full house both yesterday and today. And, you know, I saw quite a few EDG
Something,
fans
ya.
as well, a couple Chinese fans as
Something
well.
iya
Hearing
sih.
Chinese being spoken in the lobby as they're waiting for the
Dia
next
cuma
game
main
to
Jet
start,
sekarang,
things like that.
Jet sama Arena.
So I would hope that EDG can put up a bit more of a fight, maybe bring us to that third map no matter who wins.
Yeah, I would really
Intinya
like
cari
that
yang
too.
fleksibel,
I mean, I think
yang
at least
fleksibel
give the
pokoknya.
fans something to
Cari
cheer
yang fleksibel
for,
deh.
that came out to support EDG. And certainly they've
IGL,
a lot of
betul.
new fans if they didn't have them already.
Ya paling bawa
No matter
Excurate
where
kali
you
ya,
are in the
Excurate.
world, no matter where you're from,
Abangnya 4
how can
second.
you not be an EDG fan after that Champions run they had? Absolutely just
Cuman
brilliant,
nggak tahu.
beautiful stuff. Well, you know what? Munchkin's got 12 assists on that Omen. I think it's working just fine. I think the Paranoias are going to get a lot more value on this defender side too. So
For sure.
I really like this.
Oh, this is a setup. There's the undercut trying to push out of it, but the Neon's just ahead of it. So Gen G, they're going to have to back off. Don't mind the idea, though. You know, maybe in the future we see the Paranoia paired with it if they want to go all in. But this time, Munchkin preferring to keep that one as a more of a delay tool rather than taking the initiative on A main.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe with this rotate, you know, is it going to be a fake one? Yeah, okay. I was wondering if maybe Foxy9 might have a little bit of pressure on himself. He has no util, just a Sheriff to hold down that long B angle, but it is going to be the re-clear, the attempt to retake this space over towards A. See if they can get towards the site. Chichu already so beaten up, gonna try to give his life.
Gue juga kadang lihat dia tuh maju banget, tapi dia bener, dia gak cek corner. Kasihan tim belakangnya. Karena keculik-culik gitu loh. Terus kadang Perex tuh suka overpick. Mereka tuh kalau dapat set ya, mereka suka maju. Kadang tuh bagus buat cari info. Terlalu percaya benar. Itulah kadang suka nonton Perex tuh, kita tuh udah post plan, tapi bisa kalah. Mungkin nggak ada call-nya, iya. Mungkin mereka mainnya kayak, ya udah maju aja, maju. Kebesaran ya? Bentar. Sorry, gue lupa setting di YouTube. Iya, VCT tuh kalau lu blunder udahlah. Blunder sedikit aja, udah. Nice. EDG menang. Pokoknya kalau udah pertandingan gede, itu kalau udah blunder tuh udah pasti kalah lah. Blunder dikit tuh pasti dimanfaatin sama mereka. Thank you for the light, thank you udah dikoreksi tadi, gua juga baru nyadar deh. Sakit ya teksturnya. Iya. Kemarin nggak jelas, bener. Setuju gua. Pokoknya kemarin gua udah berharap sih. Kemarin berharap sama siapa ya? Sama Janji di Pasifik ya. Perex gua gak berharap. Sorry, iya. Gak kedengaran. Sekarang oke gak suaranya? Janji main duelis. Iya. So tadi pas attacker, ISO tuh tugasnya bukan untuk entry, lebih ke lurking sama si Astra. Perez kapal banget, acak-acakan. Iya. Terus ada yang bilang kalau si Alex yang digantiin coachnya. Jadi coachnya digantiin, jangan dia. Gak tau deh, mereka itu salah coachnya atau salah roster, gua gak tahu, bingung sebenarnya. Ada yang bilang salah coachnya. Tuh, bener. Ada yang bilang coach kemarin. Sedih-sedih Perex tapi masih bisa Master Champion. Ya, kalau untuk level Pasifik, Perex masih oke lah. Kayak tim Janji. T1, PRX tuh ya masih terbaik lah.
No, absolutely not.
You don't want to be the one guy that enters the highlight.
Ngotot banget pikirannya, bener.
The potential club.
Yeah, the guy who. Okay, well, all right. That was gonna be another kill both ways, but yeah, I still haven't.
Kadang gue juga bingung strateginya PRX tuh gimana. Mereka tuh sering-sering ya W gaming lah. Percuma gak sih kalau masuk pengisi dong? Iya. Jadi tim badut cuman ngisi VCT. Sayang sih soalnya PRX kan udah berpotensial untuk menang dari dulu. Cuman ya runner up gitu-gitu. Kangkang ini bang, dia nge-sub, di sub. Dia off season nggak main. Off season digantiin sama si Tos kalau salah. Atau Potter deh, gue lupa. Pokoknya diganti. Sementara nanti season ini dia udah main lagi.
EDG pulling a little bit of a 1-4 themselves.
Thank you Son, udah di follow. Thank you. Vinson ini. Thank you ya udah di follow. Thank you. Carry lagi dong, carry ke Imo. Sekarang kita
reigning supreme over here on B long, and that's the signal for Texture to now move forward a little bit too greedy. Foxy 9 says it's all part of the big picture. Let me go.
Iya, Alex tuh sering marah-marah ya. Karena mungkin pressure pas dia marah-marah. Iya. But everybody's setting up for it. Paranoid's coming in. He's going to switch to the Vandal. They want to set this up for Foxy 9, but Munchkin eventually will finish off the round.
Yeah, that's
main aneh-aneh yang main. Iya. Tapi pick apa? Pick lu berapa? Imo ya? Mantap juga ya, gue push Imo susah anjing, start di Ascendant. Imo 3, mantap. Ini tour apa? Ini tour Gwangju Esports. Off-season pokoknya. Gue lupa nih namanya apa. Off-season. Yang main cuma 4 tim. Tim Korea sama tim Cina. Cuma PRS yang nggak ganti roster, bener. Gue masih gak habis pikir sih kenapa PRX udah mainnya jelek kemarin. Mereka gak ganti roster, gak ganti coach. Tapi mungkin mereka ganti ini sih, ganti agent pick mungkin ya. Kita nggak tahu. Maka kita harus lihat off-season nanti. PRX belum main soalnya off-seasonnya. Budget nggak tahu ya. Bener nggak sih budget? Bener nggak kalau budget? Tapi kayak tim lain juga mereka berani ganti roster. Pakai rapid, iya keyboardnya kan. Itu ngaruh banget ya Son. Ngaruh banget gak sih? Ngaruh ya? Banget. Anjir. Dibanding Strive kayak biasa. Iya sih, kemarin ada lihat perbandingannya ya. Kirain di Valo tuh gak ngaruh, ternyata ngaruh ya, baru tahu. Mantap juga. Tapi mahal gak sih kalau apa yang rapid itu keywordnya? Aduh, Genji harusnya menang ya. Udah ketinggalan banyak nih. Tapi masih 11, masih belum best point, jadi masih bisa.
But Yo-Man having some really nice moments here that are, you know, not necessarily bailing Genji.
Jadi Genji ketemu T1, iya. Betul. Kalau menang iya.
Really solid. I mean 11 and 9 as well. He's really playing very just fundamentally good Valorant, you know?
Yes, and I do wonder, I wonder if Genji's trials include one full day of just Guardian play, you know? It's like, well, we have to win rounds with the Guardian. That's how we win maps. I don't think you understand. Guardians and Sheriffs, yeah.
Yeah, if you can't ace with this Guardian.
Yeah.
We kick you.
Yeah, you got a dual Munchkin, and you're like, oh, jeez, here we go.
No way.
Bentar, masih ketemu gak ya? Gue lupa deh. Anjay, 30 juta. Thank you bang, thank you. Udah 30 juta nih. Gue lupa ini sistemnya gimana. Cuman kalau gue lihat kan ini table ya. Gak tau deh, habis ini ada grand final atau kayak gak ada deh. Cuma 4 match bang, cuma 4 match. Cuma 4 match. Kan kemarin udah tuh. Gak tau ya bakal ketemu atau enggak. Soalnya kan sama tim Korea tuh. Gak tau bakal ketemu atau enggak. Soalnya ini kan fokusnya tim Korea lawan tim Cina. Gak tau mereka ketemu sama Korea ketemu. Kayak enggak deh. Kangkang udah gak main bang. Cuman apa yang naik Kangkang ya. Kangkang tuh cuman di off season, dia di sub sementara doang. Dia gak main kok. Nanti dia season baru dia main lagi. Rapid Trigger sama Neon Ultimate. Rapid Trigger pas Neon Ultimate Duelist. Anjir. Sengaruh itu ya berarti ya. Waduh. Iya, Kangkang lagi liburan. Lagi gak main. Ada Coventi sini ya. Noisimi. Halo kok. Thank you udah mampir. Yuk, masih bisa 6-11. Selama belum match point, masih ada harapan untuk comeback. Thank you Grim udah di-like. Thank you. Udah di-follow maksudnya.
Very aggressive position there, but Foxy9 will get out for free, no damage taken either. And of course, with that gate crash, you can just keep them at bay. So this denies some of that mid control from EDG nice and early. I think they didn't like what they saw in that previous round. We gave too much free space, just trying to keep everything at the halfway point across the map. Foxy9 back out front, but he's gonna get tagged. He doesn't have any way out. He has to run.
Kena lagi. Nice threat. Wah itu apa? Line up-nya Kyo mantap ya.
Tremendous player. Toast as well, gonna get one. Karen trades out nobody. Munchkin finds Chichu out over at A main. Way on the other side of the map.
Yeah, that breaks any other extra options, right? So now you know exactly where the EDG members are, given the frags. Karon kind of ready for it, but he wants to set up, so Texture's going to be on duty to watch B-Link. Karon this time watching the smoke. 0 point gets taken out, so they're not
30 detik lagi. Smoky sub juga bang.
Karon able to 180 against Toast. Now it's going to be Simon all alone, already stuck in a 1v2, soon to be a 1v3. There's the paranoia, and Texture up top.
Yeah, this is
Sabar.
impressive. You have to commit a lot to take down that op, and that's a good first step, but this time Genji much quicker to react, winning their battles on the extremities. That's something that has made Genji just fearsome throughout their 2024 adventure, where, it doesn't matter sometimes what you throw at them, they're just gonna beat you. Like, they're just better. In that situation right there, Karan just better. Like, that's so tough.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do, right? Toast found a good timing, but he couldn't land the shot.
Oh, time out. EDG time out ya. Karena udah match point nih, bahaya soalnya.
You gotta land the shot.
You shoot him in the head.
Yep, then you win.
Smoky kemana ya?
Better than anybody. But EDG, a bit of an unfortunate one there. I mean, in fact, I think Genji
Setahu gua ya deh, di sub deh.
never came to light, but Karon got tagged by that Nightfall. He kind of draws out the power of the B-Link. During that, Texture actually enters back into the site, but
Soalnya kan lu lihat ya nama-nama si Potter sama si Tos kan gua belum pernah dengar juga. Off season sih banyak sub sih. Aduh, yang mana Son? Gua kalian lagi astaga, lagi lihat ini Valorant. Bang di YouTube gak ada ya, Bang? Ada. Cari aja VCT Pacific. Lu ketinggalan lagi gua tadi yang Foxy. Betul. Resiko jadi solo duelist ya.
Such a smart cerebral player that has really just been such a benefit to this squad. You never would have thought it years ago, right? When he's on Crazy Raccoon and some of the other teams like T1.
Yeah.
He's like this wild fragrant player. He's actually a brilliant IGL as well.
I mean, he proved himself. Listen, I was one of the doubters, right? I just thought he's a pretty good player, but as an IGL, I'm not sure. Proved himself in 2024. They're not quite checking for that. I guess they've never really fought Munchkin here. They've spotted him a couple of times, but that Omen really coming into play. The shrouded step rather, really working out in favor behind that box.
I thought for a second I might TP up on top of that box and go for something, but
yeah, okay.
I was like,
Karena kan terjadi lah ya.
I was like, well, it's Munch,
Nggak ngecek.
talking about it, and I'm like, well, maybe he's gonna go big or go home here, but no, that's the right play to just piece out of there. And Chamber tour de force.
You see the star.
I
You know they're set up with a trap play. There's the double
Yeah.
She can't get the first
Kena
shot
dong.
either. Yeoman now closing the gap just a bit. It's just going to be a bait and switch. Yeoman's still around. There's the recon. They decide we're going to back out. Texture already being forced far away. He's going to go for a repeat all on his own, and Chichu's ready for it. Too many members in.
Ini bang, soalnya kalau di Pearl itu kan main Zaru ada kemungkinan pakai OP tuh. Makanya diperlukan ISO, istilah ISO sih. Mungkin itu ya dibikin sama tekstur.
Here's the thing, you can wait a little bit here as Genji. Talk about this. You have a cosmic divide of your own. You have a dimensional drift. You can counter this and set up your own retake. Use this drone to get a little bit of information. You're going to use that dimensional drift.
Makanya PLS suka pick dua duelis, soalnya mereka main agresif. Jadi kalau satu duelis mati, masih ada satu lagi. Bener, gua setuju. GG. Udah habis nih. 6-13. Iya, karena something ya dia mungkin percaya sama duelis satu lagi ya, sama si Jing ya. Karena terlalu agresif itulah. Bang, live di mana itu? Di YouTube. Cari di YouTube, ada di YouTube. Cari VCT Pacific. Cuma PLX yang pemeta sendiri, bener. Tapi kan sempat berhasil ya, metanya sendiri dulu. Sempat berhasil loh. Di 2021 atau 22 sempat berhasil. Cuma sekarang udah kebaca mereka mainnya. Ya bang, gini amat bang. Agak kurang sih. Gara Smugi juga. Gak apa, masih off season, jadi gak terlalu serius juga mainnya. Santai aja. Kebaca. Lapis 2 lah ya bang. Istilah lapis 2. Kurang lebih lapis 2 lah.
Looks like actually he stopped right at the beginning. I thought he surely got
I thought he had 4.
Yeah,
oh
me too.
God.
But it was just the first 3 rounds. We were so impressed and enamored.
Yeah.
But still got 22 kills overall, finishing strong. Munchkin 14 and 7. You know, it's not the highest kill score, but it's a very good KD, especially when you're playing that hybrid initiator controller here for the team. Everybody going positive on the side of Genji. And EDG, I mean, a couple good moments, but at the end of the day, it was just such a strong start for Genji.
Yeah, just too much solid play all around. Some good ideas with the Yoru, Yeoman just playing solid on the Sova, Karan is Karan. It's a tough matchup for anybody.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be going to the next map, this time on the choice of Genji. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Iya, off-season tuh biasa kan tempat latihan tuh. Kurang lebih itulah picknya nanti gitu-gitu dong. Halo, kok Manskin tuh masih ada. Betul, nyebelin ya ketemu ISO. Apalagi ada shield. Lu pakai shotgun jarak dekat. Masih 10 menit dong. Selamat. Bentar ya. Halo, tes. Pendapat lu Jasbu diganti padahal kemarin roster bomb on fire. Gini. Kenapa Boom bisa rombak rosternya lagi? Padahal si Jasbu kan baru join ya kemarin, baru tahun ini malah baru join, terus diganti lagi. Karena mereka nggak tau ya, karena mereka kalah di Ascension, mereka kan kalah. Terus emang Jasbu tuh maksud gua gimana sih? Jasbu menurut gua masih kurang ya dari roster yang lain. Layak diganti sih menurut gua. Dia itu baik blunder, walaupun dia baik clutch, gue akui dia memang baik clutch, banyak kill-kill yang penting lah. Cuma dia baik blunder juga kemarin. Gue nonton offline tuh. Dia banyak ini bang, banyak blunder, itu bahaya. Jadi masih layak diganti lah, gak apa-apa. Kita dapat pengganti yang sangat oke juga. Makanya gue penasaran sama rosternya Bumi So sekarang. Gameplaynya, cuman coach si Miao itu diganti, gue masih pertanyakan sih kenapa dia diganti. Iya gak sih, gue kaget loh pas si Miao diganti. Bener. Kalau pengganti Dosnine sih gue masih happy ya kalau Jasbu diganti. Kalau dia ganti sama orang roster yang lain nih nggak tahu ya. Gue masih oke sih kalau Dosnine ya, dibandingkan sama Dosnine gue masih setuju lah. Dia udah layak diganti gak apa. Tapi tetap respect ke JSBU karena dia yang bisa bawa Boom Esports sampai ke final loh. Roster itu yang bisa bawa sampai ke final. Mereka kalah pun unlucky gue bilang. Masih respect lah. Cuma kalau Dosnine sih, wah masih dulu sih dia mantap sih. Dia bisa smoker. JSBU smoker juga, jadi cocok lah. Ntar ya, kita ngobrol dulu kali ya, 5 menit. Kita lihat EDG bisa lawan nggak ya? Soalnya EDG juga kalah sama T1. 2-0 juga skor ya. Di T1 sama Genji sih menarik sih. Kita lihat si EDG bisa kasih perlawanan nggak? Penasaran gua. Halo Jun, welcome. Halo Yuko. Belum bang, belum. Siapa yang bilang? Jadi Excurate tuh cuman jadi cadangan lah istilahnya. Halo Jeso, cuman dicadangkan. Misalnya kalau dia diperlukan dia main. Masih jadi roster dah kok. Cuman kan subnya T1 kan sekarang baik ya. Ada si Carpe juga. Geng T1 ngeri ya. Jadi menurut gua gak tau si Excurate. Rumornya sih dia bakal ini ada pindah ke ini tim Indo. Aspas katanya ke MIBR ya. Kok cari deh. Katanya dia kan udah cabut dari left tuh. MIBR gak sih? Kalau salah ya, bentar gua cek. Oh ya betul kan, Aspas MIBR kan? Thank you John, thank you udah follow. Wih, kenapa bet transfer? Kenapa bet bang? Kenapa bet? Coba. Pendapat lu gimana? Ya kemarin rumornya dia mau ke ini ya, mau ke Apak ya. Tapi dia ke MIBR. Iya, tapi kan bener. Mana tau si Aspas bisa ngangkat, mungkin SPK gitu kali ya. Soalnya Aspas tuh emang nge-carry dari dulu. Udah dari berapa tahun ya? Dari 2022 deh. Dia udah nge-carry Loud. Iya sih. Dia di peringkat bawah tuh pasti ada alasan sendiri lah. Timnya emang nggak bener berarti. Hmm. Demon One gue tau ya. Tapi Demon One sama Aspas tuh sebenarnya 11-12. Oh ya, Aspas lebih konsisten ya? Jadi lu lebih Aspas atau Demon One? Lu lebih pilih Aspas atau Demon One? Gua Aspas sih tapi. Kita Aspas sih. Emang tim di LOL ngeri ya? Gua gak ikutin lagi LOL. Tapi setahu aku tim Korea deh LOL ngeri. Semoga season ini Demon balik ke Prime. Amin. Baru menang World back to back. Seadanya ya, ini mungkin diandaikan ya. Tak season ini 2025. T1 kayak ngeri deh. Heran kenapa Genji lepas Meteor. Gue lebih kaget bang, kalau Genji kan ngerombak ya kemarin. Dia ngelepas meter ke T1 malah. Mungkin karena mereka pas di VCT kali. VCT lalu kan mereka lumayan terpuruk ya janji ya. Mungkin karena itu mereka ganti roster pas di Champions di VCT.
Texter's debut on ISO is nothing short of astounding. I mean, just set the tempo early on that attacker side, was shutting rounds out before they basically even began. And then from there, they were able to just kind of gain themselves some nice reads, some good decisions, some good outplays with their utility and their mechanics, and just kind of got over the line. We saw some cool stuff. Toast had a nice play in there. And a few other moments with Potter with the neon. So, you know, with those new players, you're seeing glimpses, you're seeing glimmers that, you know, if they end up getting call-ups or, you know, go to another team or whatever, there's potential there for sure. But at the end of the day, this Gen G squad is also, just like T1, already looking pretty fearsome overall.
Yeah, I mean, to have these rebuilds of these rosters or upgrades for some of these teams, to look so promising already early on in the offseason, I think is great news for not just Korean fans, but Pacific fans, right? I think one of the biggest things that plagued Pacific for a long time was it's always the same teams at the top. But we're slowly seeing a shake-up, right? Gen G was a big...
Foxy siapa Foxy? Si Foxy. Foxy 9.
Enter back into that discussion in the coming year. And of course, you know, similar story in China where EDG was the kings for so long. And we're starting to see some more life out of the other teams. But so far, EDG, of course, world champions off of 2024. And the core looks to be...
Oh, CSC9.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no doubt that, you know, when EDG is back up to their full 5-man roster, they are going to be very, very fearsome.
Yes.
Gak bakal Oxy masuk T1. Si Otima udah ngomong kalau T1 masuk tim Korea. Hah? Gimana? Oxy bukan Korea? Oh, keturunan Korea ya, tapi beda sih ya. Iya.
Toast was having some moments. You're seeing the great utility usage from Simon that really sets up those plays. So that's the thing that I'm really impressed with so far with EDG is Simon's continued just brilliance. You know, a lot of people think about like Ethan.
VCT si Korea, betul.
Sure. I'm starting to see things with Simon that I'm like, he might be that guy in a year, you know, even less. Who knows? Because he has been just so consistent with getting value.
I mean, Simon was the big reason they went to overtime at all against T1 yesterday, right? 19 kills and 21 assists. So really being part of nearly everything that happened in that game against T1 here in Ascent. We'll see if it's the same situation.
Udah mulai nih game ini. Kita lihat gimana EDG bisa bawa kita ke map ketiga ya.
Yeah, wanted to rush through it, but the smoke comes out in time. They've all been spotted. Util not available for use, so they will back out for the time being. A decent scratch against Simon and Potter, both of them being brought down right near the 50 mark line for the HP. But it's going to be an early re-hit onto A short, so spreading out the map but not being too passive, that's good for EDG. Already taking control of tree, so they have a way to enter in. Toast winning that fight is huge. Chichu going all the way deep, just gets the info. They actually force Texture onto the site. He can't find the kill. He's stranded, and EDG will be able to take over the A site.
Yeah, they're looking really cool.
Iya, udah janji si Foxy lah.
Aran just left blindsided. Yo man, nothing he can do. Chichu finds
ya bener. Gue udah setuju sama lu, Sam.
A really fast decision as well. So good play calling there from nobody. Find a big pistol win.
Yeah, I love
Perex sudah terancam sih. Tim-tim yang South Asia. South East Asia. Sudah terancam. Pokoknya Pasifik itu pasti tim Korea kalau tim Cina. Udah.
they can avoid a little bit of an eco loss again. So last time that Genji read them really, really well on Pearl, but Ascent has been a very different story for EDG. They're seemingly much more comfortable on this map with their new players, which they only had a couple days to practice together. That is what the other players were saying on their streams, that they only had 2 or 3 days to really try to work with this tandem that came in to fill in for Smoggy and Kong Kong. And so this map, obviously one of the oldest maps in Valorant, so everybody kind of knows it. They kind of understands what your roles are, what your jobs are, especially with both teams just picking the meta comps. And
Parax.
has been able to really showcase that they have a lot of potential, even with a slightly different roster than normal.
And there's the pop flash coming in for the entry. Nice paranoid to follow up as well. Pushes him away from the alley entirely.
Dapat dong, terus smoke.
Spam through the smoke is good. Nobody there to support as well. So they're not leaving
Nice.
Potter out in the open for too long. Nice fragment. I mean, this is just step by step. Always going to be a multi-angle fight every time, and that makes the entry all so much easier for EDG as they look to finish things off in a flawless.
Nice one. Gue dukung EDG sih. Yuk, menang. Biar seru.
On the face of EDG. Genji gonna have to tighten the screws a little bit now because they're getting pushed around the map quite a bit. Nobody in Chichu and Potter have yet to die. Simon as well, but it's been very, very clean. Only 1 death in 2 rounds. They're gonna get that Odin into play.
Potter.
For the operator, of course, just yet, but for Genji, that's a big part of the equation. Get texture that operator, get him comfortable, start just taking control of mid in particular. He's just so fearsome. Bit of exchange of utility there. Munchkin gets pinged.
Yeah, pushes him off just a bit, and now that's full main control. Again, early tree control as well, but Potter this time all alone, not quite aware that Munchkin might be hugging the wall. So that will slow things down. Texture is ready for another peek. Chichu suspects.
Potter kayak permanen kan? Bener gak? Potter tuh permanen gak sih? Cuman tos ya yang jadi sub. Diganti sementara maksudnya.
Brute force their way through A potentially. Be able to kind of spam and hold the line. Yeah, Munchkin already claiming 1 life.
Rata dong.
It's not good for these long-range battles either. So while EDG would have loved to at least do some damage, especially because it was 3 members on half armor here for Genji, so you had an opportunity to really make it sting. But at the end of the day, Simon's just going to have to wait to see if Genji pushes out. If not, I'm sure he'll peek out in the last 10 seconds or so. Make sure that he at least goes down and gets some extra creds as he wants to upgrade his weapon in the future. Let's see if Genji kind of just lets him be even towards the end. I presume they'll just hold the angle all the way to the bitter end of the round, and EDG surely
30 seconds
kind of
left.
reconsidering options. Texture will be the one to pick up the kill.
Yeah. So okay, mission
Gak apa-apa, bonus round tadi, bonus round.
Flawless of your own after getting flawless on your eco. So let's see now. Pockets are going to be fairly deep here for EDG. They're able to save up a buys going, but yeah, just holding angles. Genji just winning those battles cleanly.
30
Some
seconds
headshots. Crosshair placement is king in that round. Just look to spread the map a little bit more maybe here for EDG. Showing us a little bit of a different formation. A couple players with the Killjoy, with Chichu this time, instead of him and Toast who were on the other side of the map. So trying to maybe see if they can collapse on a mid, if there's any push out. No operator yet to speak of.
Oh, barrel shown, and Potter, he's able to try to readjust with a jiggle, but it's still Texture who comes out with the frag. Only 5 HP left, though, so Texture more so just going to be a scout at this point onward for this round. Holding far back on mid. Alarm bot cleared nice and early. EDG wants to put the pressure on. They know the Jet has to be weak, so you want to pressure that a bit further. Nobody has been tagged. There's the Odin. Now you know where it is. It's holding close here on the B site. It's a lot of pressure on Chichu to try to get control of B main if they want to do anything. But Simon opens things up. Genji now a little bit lost and confused on the intel. He's even going to get a tag onto Charon. So keeps him tied up. Makes sure that he's blinded with information. But Charon with a fast re-clear as soon as the suppression dies out. And that's the call for Genji to remain here on the B site.
It's a great move by Yeoman, sensing the pressure. Not going to get touched by that alarm bot.
Oh, Chichu's so weak. He feels the pressure from behind as well, and he has no option then to peek out. Yeoman with another kill. Simon gets one with the fragment, but he's staying alive. They do eventually have to plant the spike.
Yeah, that was a great paranoia there. Keeping Yeoman alive for this 2v2. Still got a couple shock darts to play around with as well. Simon, I guess, could pop the null command, but I don't really see a reason to. Not when you're just shooting him in the head.
And now just a close 0 point. They know he's already entered onto the site itself. So Karon's position for Field. He springs out for a nice kill onto Simon, trying to find the last target, but there's too many angles to clear, and Toast will be able to clutch things up.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be a pretty solid round for Gen G, but after they had given up space, I don't know if they were expecting maybe a retreat from EDG or something, and then they win that big 1v1. Simon has been so good on this map against Munchkin, and that really breaks open a ton of space. And, Karon's left on an island on A. He's just stuck in a corner trying to figure out what to do. Yeoman's trying to get the heck out of B so he doesn't get sandwiched between main and market. And everything just kind of falling apart there for Gen G with the protocols.
Yeah, we'll see if they can regain a little bit of control with the operator now. Try to be a bit more calm, have a bit more of that system back in place that they were so well known for throughout the 2024 season. Texture holding a closer angle. He's actually going to drop down. He wants to reposition. Maybe hold close, maybe start to peek out of tree as they don't see any more information. You do have the Nano Swarm to help delay on main, so Gen G feels comfortable leaving Karon on his own for the time being.
Yeah, and you've got a couple players over towards B. It's just Chichu, though, for EDG. As he's trying to maybe out-duel Foxy9, but Foxy playing ahead of the turret, actually. That's dangerous, but he's able to win it.
Yeah, it looked a little risky, especially because Gen G was setting up for a recon play, it looked like, from Yeoman. So Foxy9, there was a chance that he wasn't ready for it, but he'll win out, even if it's only with 45 HP remaining. That empties out the B site for another 10-20 seconds if a rotation comes through, and Gen G happy to hold their ground here on the A site. Texture, operator in hand. Here comes the res from a little bit further away, but Karon's still going to stop the force out there in main, and Texture and Munchkin chaining together an extra kill each to shut down the advance on tree.
Yeah, that's really clean stuff there. Texture able to slot in nicely to help out at short. Big win for Foxy9 in that 1v1 against Chichu. That's a really important piece of that round because it really limits the options for EDG there. And Gen G knows it. They can keep that 3-man stack. Tough position to be in. Simon tries to pop it up. Okay, that's nasty.
That's what it was. I thought it might have just been like a spam through the smoke or something, but goodness gracious. Karon very quick with it.
God, that was outrageous. He's so good sometimes. No, not sometimes. All the time.
He's like so good all the time, and then he's like great other times.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Oh no.
Oh, Munchkin holding close. This time with the Phantom. It's not even a judge. And EDG, they kind of suspect a bit of a play, but because they're the ones with the weaker weapons, they expect Gen G will be holding at the entrance of A main. Not close. Woo. Okay, 2 HP. Well, it's more than one. Double, in fact. See if that's going to be enough to keep him alive a bit longer here in the round.
Texture was looking to see if he could catch him trying to pass out the other side. Guardian at range there for nobody. There's the shot from Texture. There's the finish for Karon. And Gen G able to tie it up with another flawless, so able to invest in that operator, and you can already see that it pays off dividends for Gen G. Once they can get into that gun, it's so much harder for the attackers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, a core reason of why Ascent seems to be so defensive-sided is the operator can shut down so much. I mean, every part that you want to enter into a site is a narrow choke point. Makes things a lot easier for the operator. You've got so many long sight lines as well. But EDG, they did get 3 rounds early on, so it's not a bad start here for the attacking half. Just even one more would put them at a decent position at the half and maybe even set up for more.
You do have a Hunter's Fury now for EDG. So let's see if they can maybe find a pick or a spot to use it, but aggressive push-outs from Gen G again towards A main.
Yeah, Texture's been getting very aggressive and very active with the operator. He's usually pretty good about, taking a shot and rotating, but today he's just going out on his own sometimes, going for these peaks.
Yeah, a lot of confidence today flowing for Texture. I mean, you'd have to be after the way he played on Pearl. And they're confident to leave him alone. I mean, that's another thing for Gen G is you have the trust in your players to let them make those individual plays, whether it be him or Munchkin or Foxy9, whoever. You know that they're good enough to get the job done in those 1v1s, or if it's more than that, to at least make the right decision to make the situation as favorable as possible in your favor. Munchkin, though, so out ahead of this in mid.
Yeah, so much information gained from Gen G, right? A main cleared, mid cleared, now the turret goes off. You know it's B. Odin at the ready, trying to scratch them off. There are the nano swarms being popped off, maybe a bit early, but you still have a fragment from Munchkin as well. So much delay. There's 0 Point. Null Command also there. 0 Point just for info, trying to get the tags. The spike has already started on the rotate, but you see the Jet and the Killjoy, so Gen G's not going to make a move just yet. They're actually going to go for a pinch Paranoia onto Munchkin, but it clears before they go for the swing. He's ready for it. Just needs to play for time. Only 10 seconds left on the clock, and the EDG enters the grinder, and all get melted and shredded down.
That's a decent idea there by EDG, but just never able to really get comfortable enough with Yeoman holding the door. With Munchkin on the other side, there's a Paranoia that comes through. I'm not sure if it hit Munchkin or not, but it definitely let him know they're coming from that angle. Gave him the time to prepare for it, and they shoot around the corner, kind of trying to pre-fire. Munchkin pre-fires right back, makes him pay for it. He gets 3 in the round. That's tremendous work from the IGL. And now he's 10-3, so starting to really heat up the IGL for Gen G. And the bank account is getting deeper and deeper. A few ults in the bag as well. Yeoman has his Hunter's Fury. It's a weaker buy for the side of EDG. Yes, they have a lot of ults. Are they going to be able to use it? They're going to go for the Hunter's Fury there.
That's trying to get some early clearance, trading back and forth from both sides. But at the end of the day, well, I was going to say it's going to be, of course, Gen G kind of smiling if they just trade the ults since they have the better weapons. But it's going to be Chichu who gets a free upgrade onto the Phantom, but he's low, and Texture gets the call on that one. Shorty comes in, Foxy9 trying to hold strong. Enough time for Karen to reposition down here under in Hell. Conquering the A site, defending it from all of the good that's trying to come in from EDG, and Texture peeks out for the 3K.
Man. Very sturdy, and now it's kind of business as usual for Gen G.
Let's win and get
A
out of
little
here.
more focused up now, trying to see if they can really extend this lead, and some big ultimates invested there. The Hunter's Fury, the Blade Storm, really trying to get some value out of those. Lockdown. Texture, great awareness there, great comms for Gen G to understand that he was pretty beat up. Must be calling for it, and Texture is going to deliver on the goods. Love to see it. 5-3. And the Hunter's Fury was used as well for Yeoman there to try to set up Munchkin. Didn't work out, but in the long run, around it.
You should run.
Totally fine. Gonna use that lockdown. No counter available. Karan's gonna have to come in the corner to avoid the pain.
Does have the Frozen Shadows as well if you wanted to reposition or maybe beat him out, but for now it's just a Paranoid to buy time. There's a good ping, and he's good for it with the headshot right through the smoke. Also catches in Potter, who was already in the site, and that just leads to a flawless for Gen G.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like EDG really accounted for that extra space that the lockdown in that position gives for the defenders. Gen G can just even put a player up on Heaven right when that lockdown expires. They're able to just start punching through. The Yeoman's utility so good there as well to get that spot. Texture comes in with the Blade Storm, starts knocking players down. Foxy9 is there. It's just a slaughter. And EDG, such a good start on this map, and seemingly starting to unravel, as that's 5 in a row for the black and gold. It's a good dart.
Perfectly lined up. Texture not wanting to show his position in any way, shape, or form. He's got the tailwind, so he's going for another aggressive peek. He gets one, but he can't quite make it in, but there's cover. There's always somebody next to Texture. Allows him to stay on site with another one. Toast baiting out the second shot. Oh, sets up nobody, and he's good for it. So eventually, they take down the operator, but at what cost? Giving so much information and not gaining much away from it.
Yeah, it's tricky now. That operator out in the open, but could eventually get scooped up. You see one player out there, so that's going to open up the door for some shock darts, and now you have to try to get through Odin. Oh, he just sprays him through the wall. Yeoman just knows. Chichu, hello?
Oh, Yeoman trying to spray down for another. He's just holding on. He knows he's weak. He spots him, and he gets him through the blind. The Paranoia coming through, but it's not going to stop him. And I do wonder, I think Foxy9 might have actually gave him the call. He was further behind, so might have seen an elbow or something on that first shot. But either way, Yeoman very quick on that read.
Yeah, that's really, really heads-up stuff from Yeoman. I mean, the spray through the wall, just understanding that they were probably going to be pushing that angle since he had the info already. So mentally prepared for this. Might have saw an elbow, I don't know, yeah, but that's crazy good. It's comms or with Foxy9 seeing something regardless. Very, very impressive. Maybe a reveal on the mini-map, but what was I gonna say? Oh, Foxy9. I like the way that sometimes Genji like has Foxy9 backing up Texture when he has the operator.
Yes.
And he does such a good job of holding those off angles for Texture to make sure that he has a bailout. Even if the dash doesn't go right or he doesn't have the dash potentially, he seems to be really good at understanding that he needs to hold XYZ angle to make sure that Texture has an out.
Yeah, and it's also, obviously, on a sense, it's a lot easier to set that up in a certain way with the Killjoy, but oftentimes the Killjoy, another agent that is fairly good with the operator since you're pretty self-autonomous with your util, so even if it gets dropped or something like that, there's other options. Foxy9, of course, loves to use the operator. It's overall a good setup, and it's great to see that Texture, has that extra backup no matter the roster change here for Gen.G. But EDG, they will call that timeout. They don't mind if they're behind too much on the attacking side, but they would like to get an extra round or two here to really set them up for success in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's scary going up against Gen.G on the attacker side. We've seen it many times last year. Again, yes, different roster, but a lot of the same ideas and the same ability to just have Texture kick doors in for you. Foxy9, who knows, maybe he's going to be able to do some lurking, and Munchkin always so fearsome in that short A area. Tough no matter how you slice it. EDG get a good shock dart, clearing the alarm bot. Another good push up through market. This time pretty aggressive with taking this space. Oh my god.
So clean. Doesn't miss a beat. He's just so quick on that reaction. Just barely sees the elbow and makes sure that he's lined up for it. Gets the headshot through the wall to finish off the kill.
And now that drone came through, and now you gotta worry as EDG. Is that Odin just sitting in market again? Like, that's such a good, nice little change of position for Yeoman to use that piece of utility.
And look at that reposition from Foxy9 as well. For your crossfire up and mid, you still get to activate your turret. Meanwhile, Texture, he's pushing out far. He gets information, forces their hand up in mid. That allows Yeoman to be ready. Here comes the null command. And so it's going to be Texture watching from far. He actually gets the KO before the entry happens. And that's going to mask Yeoman's position even further. Holding close with the Odin, saw the head, but nobody's quick with the headshot. Texture now caught in the sight, but Foxy9's here for backup. He's good for the 4K. Gets all three as they enter in from market. Now hunting for the ace.
Don't die. Don't die to the nano.
Yeah, definitely don't die to the nano. That would be anticlimactic for sure. I don't think he's going to get it. Chichu's not going to give him the opportunity. But what an impressive backup play here from Foxy9.
I mean, that normally shouldn't work, but he just found just enough of a timing and the shots were clean enough.
Well, hello. And Chichu, he does succeed at not giving the ace, but he's going to still give the frag, and Gen.G's laughing about it. They know what the situation was, but we got to see that replay. That 3K right there as he exits out of the smoke, just impressive, because the goal was just to keep Texture alive.
Yep, and then he does more. This first shot is...
Well, this is nasty, too. This was a Foxy9 round through and through.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible. One, smoke comes down, just disrespects it, gets ahead of the fragment. That is so freaking clean.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a complete straight spray transfer. He just resets with the Vandal.
Right here.
What a round from Foxy9.
Scanning ahead.
Now, continuing on, he's got that lockdown with that many kills in the previous round. Not a surprise there. Chichu constantly getting taken down low by that Odin. He's not going to be happy about that one.
Dude, Yeoman really is doing a great job causing so much pain for EDG with his util, following up with the Odin in whatever fashion he needs to. He has been so oppressive on that B site.
Oh, the outlaw for Munchkin as well. A bit of an econ play to really put the nail in the coffin against EDG. Keeps Gen.G so rich for the remaining rounds if they are able to succeed here without dropping too many weapons. Drone now forcing them out a little bit, getting some extra information. Gonna spot the jet right at the last second. The drone turned around. So you know, okay, there's still a bit of a setup here in mid. Gives the call to Texture to reposition at a wider angle. Oh, he's good for one. He fires off the second shot, almost gets another. But will back out, buys time with the frag hit. The spike was dropped, so you know at the very least for the next 20 seconds or so, it's not going to be a B hit. If it is, it's going to be a Hail Mary sprint all the way at the end. You got to pick up the spike there. Potter, he will eventually go back and retrieve it. 25 seconds left. And Tree immediately re-cleared by Munchkin. Gen.G knows absolutely that this is the entry onto B. Fragment comes in, but Texture just waits for the extra frag. Peeks out for another. He's going for a third. Smoke comes out. That'll stop him. He eventually goes down, and Potter and Toast The two youngsters, they're trying to clear it, but the lockdown, you just can't get past that. There's no time. The round is done. You have to take everybody out, and Toast is trying his darndest, but you just cannot win as Karen is so far away. Foxy Knight even gets the double. I just,
Switching sides.
I mean, nailing the coffin all the way through 6 feet under.
Just brutal, brutal stuff. Once Genji kind of got the feel for the map, got the operator into Texture's hands, that was half over. But switching sides, defender side, Copium. EDG, looking good yesterday, able to push it into OT. See if they can dial it in again, find some strength. Obviously, a lot of Genji fans here. I like the one fan that had the sign that said Gwangju 9, because Foxy's from Gwangju.
He's from Gwangju. I like
cute.
that.
Yeah.
A little bit of a hometown hero story. Lots of Gen G fans, of course. A couple EDG fans here and there. Oh, wow. Okay, cheering on for EDG. Tiger on the menu for dinner. Well, we'll see. See, that's a bold statement. All right.
I like that. I like that. That's a clever sign. For sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, obviously, yes, Gen G, they're the Korean team. We're in Korea. But at the same time, I mean, so many Korean fans were impressed with EDG after Champions. And who wouldn't be after that run? And while Kankang and Smoggy aren't participating in this event, it's still the same core, and you're hoping to see more no matter who wins.
Absolutely. And certainly, a lot of fans that went to see Champions here in Seoul, in Incheon technically, I guess, but, in Korea, had to have been enamored with EDG and the way that they handled themselves and the personality that, players like Kong bring and all those things, obviously really endear you to a team like EDG. So, yeah, I think they had to have accumulated.
Aduh, sorry, gue lupa on mic lagi. Bangke.
The KDA is not looking so good
Kalau ada
right
suara.
now for EDG.
Iya. Nonton di mana, Bang? Itu tadi gue bilang di VCT. Terus cari YouTube VCT Pacific.
Senses danger. Decides to get that out of there. That's a great flash, though.
Well timed, and we see very small variations of that play so much, but this was a clean one. Nobody's still going to stay alive for the time being. He actually peeks out for a second, maybe. Okay, that was a little messy on both sides, but Foxy Knight will come out on top, and that's exactly what Gen G needed to be able to enter the site. Meanwhile, Munchkin, he's still fishing for a lurk. He thinks the rotates might have been late, but EDG's all here. Munchkin's not going to be part of the fight if EDG comes through. Foxy Knight, though, buying time. Yeoman as well. They haven't planted it just yet, and now they will wait until Munchkin comes. I love the patience coming in. Toast, the Inkling comes in a little bit too late, and Gen G continue to lead.
Yeah, what a hold here from Yeoman and Foxy Knight. I mean, really having to go through the meat grinder just to get to the site itself. Gen G commits all their resources to it, and they're able to just barely break in. And they're able to hold the line so nicely there. Good combination with the crossfire. Good heads-up play by Yeoman to snag that ghost on the way in as well. Not try to challenge that alley angle with his classic. I think that was a really smart decision. And a decent hold from EDG, but it's just not quite enough. And Foxy 9 has been really hot these last couple of rounds.
Game kedua, Kangkang kemana? Kangkang lagi off season. Jadi dia nggak main, digantiin sama si Tos. Cuma sementara, karena off season doang. Beda kan? Iya, gara Kangkang jadi beda. Lu lihat, rata banget. Tapi kita nggak tahu ya, ini karena Kangkang atau Gen Z emang overpower. Karena kita tahu kalau Gen Z udah sempat memang gini gameplaynya. Yang udah bagus dari kemarin. Udah emang solid banget mainnya. Tapi gak ada Smogi sama Kangkang ngaruh sih. Chemistry Gen Z, ya benar. Pokoknya EDG itu sama dengan Kangkang. Udah itu intinya. Gak ada Kangkang bukan EDG. Cuman tim-tim biasa. Festival sih kapan mulainya? Bentar ya, gua coba cek. Februari kalau salah, bentar.
What lineups people are coming up with. Right now, Genji holding up very close, but seeing, trying to make EDG get antsy, right, on their buy round. Because if you win here, not only are you up onto match point, but the weaponry starts to get a little iffy. Even if EDG tries to go for a comeback Potter, getting
Kalau salah Pacific sih. VCT Pacific.
Karen with the swing, Texture with the pinch, gets over, gets the information with the one shot coming out from
Kita lagi off kapan ya, bentar.
Crossfire here in tree. They're just keeping them tied up, waiting for the main force to enter through a main. And Sight give it over to Genji.
Pokoknya tahun depan, Bang. Tahun depan awal-awal. Pokoknya awal tahun depan.
And now Texture's gotten up into heaven, but they're already spamming it. I don't know if they heard it or just know that that's what Texture likes to do. Yeah, they're going to take him down.
Yeah, he tried to weave as much as possible, but not quite Neo in this round. As Yeoman waits with the Ares. If they start to flood in, they will just get massacred. The dart doesn't quite get cleared, so Yeoman has to reposition, drawing out a lot of time and fire. It's a 4v2 in favor of Genji. EDG just don't have enough bodies to throw out the problem, and Genji lead up to match point.
Oke, match point buat Genji.
They're just so fast right now. They're so confident.
Mereka cepat banget mainnya.
Every fight they're taking, and Foxy9 doing such a good job on the other side of the map, causing a lot of distractions, clearing alarm bots, making noise, keeping the other players planted. Potter tries to get a little bit aggressive, takes a lot of damage, then eats a flash, and pays the price. That gives a gun upgrade over to Munchkin and Karan, and well, EDG has to
Tim apa aja ikut?
every piece of money and utility they have at this round.
Ini lu bahasnya yang mana dulu nih? Kalau Pacific, ya. Ini VCT Pacific League ya, liganya ya.
We'll shut down the impact here from Genji. So Genji trying to really throw EDG off, and Genji does this, right? This is just classic Genji when they're up either,
Kakak nggak main pas kalah, ya, pantas lah.
They'll just suddenly go fast, and they'll go for a Hail Mary and see what happens. If not,
Pokoknya kalau EDG tanpa Kakang tuh udah lah. Menurut gua biasa aja sih timnya.
Exactly. Again, it's what
Kalau VCT Pacific nih, gue sebutin ya tim Indo ya misalnya. Oh, kalau tur ini. Kalau tur ini cuma 4 tim. Ini kan undangan off-season. Jadi yang main cuma tim Genji, T1. Kalau dari Cina, EDG, sama Trash Esports, TE. Iya bang, kasihan bang. Kena bantai gini bang. Bantai parah. Ini harusnya last game bang, ini enggak. Soalnya mereka mainnya tidak berdasarkan grup, yang menang siapa? Duh, culik lagi. 3 lawan 2. Lawan 2 sekarang.
Hold the stairs.
Yeah, and the alarm bot on stairs as well, so you don't really need to be peeking it. This is going to be tough. The Nanos just to keep them at bay. And then the 0 point to scout out. You know they're both close now. The alarm
Thank you for the share.
Munchkin only spots one. They don't know that Potter's here just yet.
Potter, ayo Potter bisa dong. Hah, GG. Cepet banget gamenya. Gue live baru sejam loh. 2 game sejam. Sejam 25 menit.
Really clean stuff from the Korean teams this weekend. Really solid at times. Genji just
Lawa Potter, ya. Lawa banget sih gue bilang.
It was all Genji. Oh man. 4-0 for Korea, right?
Yeah. Goodness. I mean, listen,
tim Korea sini keras ya. Mereka menang 2-0 semua. Itu Foxy baru, iya baru. Baru bang. Di Genji baru. Dari DRX. Dia dari DRX.
You're trying to get a look into, okay, is this roster really going to deliver on the anticipation, the expectation? And so far, it absolutely does.
Gila, ini rosternya menurut gua potensial ya, Genji. Nanti siap, ya. Siap bang.
Genji not really running a lot of sentinels on the bigger maps. You know, they feel more confident in their ability.
Oh, nanti siapa? Kan yang cabut tuh siapa ya? Si Meteor cabut tuh. Gue lupa lagi. Pokoknya ada 2 orang cabut deh. Dari Genji ada 2 orang cabut.
Obviously still plenty of time to experiment, and I'm sure maybe, one patch still ahead before the 2025 season starts to really shake things up. They've already hinted at quite a few agent changes down the road. Yeah, Phoenix buffs? Why are we seeing
Oh,
more of those?
the Phoenix buff.
Oof.
Yeah, let's go. See more of those. But I mean, obviously,
Jelek lah pokoknya ya, EDG tanpa kangkang.
taking into consideration on how to change up. A lot of things have been teased. But aside from that, in the current meta, Genji already accepting the fact that things have to change. They want to be ahead of things once again, like they were in 2024.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's really, really good. I'm really happy to see both teams pushing the envelope with the agents, with their composition. It's a scent, but that doesn't matter. Everybody plays the same comp map.
Yeah, and someday that map will surely get changed or leaving the map pool or whatever it might be. But so far,
Gue masih bingung nih, ini turninya apakah masih ada atau
against EDG, and that leaves this weekend with the Korean teams dominating 4-0
Bukannya udah ya?
the Chinese representatives. That is it for the matches, but we will have a chance to kind of review everything that happened to, not just today, but for the whole weekend. Of course, still award ceremony as well, as we do have a trophy. We got some of that prize money to deliver, but for now, let's enjoy some of the highlights from this match between Genji and EDG.
ini gue ada yang tahu gak sih? Soalnya kan sistemnya itu table.
Power's out. Last player.
Bentar, gue off bentar ya guys.
Dominating performance by Genji against some of the reigning champions of EDG, and of course a couple of the youngsters that they're giving a chance here during this off-season event. But nonetheless, impressive stuff from Genji. I think a lot of Pacific and Korean fans will be happy about that. And that brings us to a, maybe a bit of a disappointing close, quite frankly, to the weekend, as the Korean teams dominated today once again 2-0, 2-0.
Yeah, I definitely was hoping for at least 1-3 mapper here somewhere along the line, and Trace flirted with it. So did EDG, frankly. They had the one overtime, so there was some really good performances there. But yeah, again, it's a little bit tough when you're in the off season. You're maybe trying a few things out to see what could work, trying some players out to see if they can kind of fit in for you. All those things kind of put together. But for T1 and Genji, teams that only recently kind of fully came together, they really want to make sure that they're in good form. They want to get as much practice as they can in. Whereas the other teams, they have their same 5 from last year, so they can toy around a little bit more. They have that experience together that they don't need to worry about having to come to an event and really, bringing the 5 and trying to see what they have. They already know what they have.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so much of the offseason left as well.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a slow build-up. But again, T1 and Genji, they just finalized their rosters. They want to get a head start. They want to make sure they realize what the weaknesses are that they need to shore up. I mean, T1, I think, is a good example of that, where they noticed, okay, we won Red Bull qualifiers, right, for APAC, for home ground, but, okay, we need to fix some of this stuff up. Now looking a bit cleaner coming into this weekend, maybe cleaner when they go to Germany, and then, of course, down the road, a couple more events for both of these teams. All 4 teams, in fact, already scheduled for extra events in the offseason. So it's been a good look, but, I mean, this offseason, we've been feasting here in Pacific.
Oh, God. I mean, so many great events. That the Red Bull qualifiers, 10. I mean, there's one coming up in Chengdu soon. Like, there's all kinds of awesome stuff that's been going on here in Pacific. We have so many great teams in this region, so many great players. and great fans too, of course.
Of course. And a lot of the Korean fans, I saw some wearing like Champions goodies as well right here in Gwangju, so clearly all showing up. But that was all of the matches that we had prepared for the weekend. Of course, we do have an award ceremony, but it's going to be it for the commentary here from myself, Chober, and Paper Thin. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the award ceremony here for the GES Asia.
we are proud to announce new additions to the XL series. Both are using fast TN panels and newly upgraded DIAC-2 technology. Fast TN panel with its faster native response time can reveal enemy outlines quicker during flashbang attacks. For IPS panel, more overdrive is required to enhance response speed, leading to dynamic image blurring due to the panel's inability to handle the load. These new monitors integrate new dynamic accuracy technology, DIAC-2. The upgraded dual backlight design not only provides FPS players with clearer visuals at dynamic aiming and spray control, but are also more friendly to your eyes. Moreover, built in the monitor panel, DIAC-2 functions independently and doesn't require any sync with PCs, ensuring no impact on game performance. XL setting to share now has auto game mode feature. Besides download, save, share your settings, it will auto-apply different color settings based on your usage scenarios. Outlook of the latest monitors are refreshed. It has incorporated industrial-grade bearings into the height adjustment mechanism, allowing easier and smoother adjustment to the exact desired height. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games. This is a brief introduction of the new XL monitor. Feel free to DM us if you have any questions.
The 2024 GES Asia Valorant Tournament, Korea versus China over this past weekend. It comes to a close, and it was, of course, Korea kind of dominating the entire weekend.
Yeah, just a really tremendous performance from T1 and Genji. A lot to look forward to in 2025 for both of those squads. And still some more off-season events to come, so what a tremendous weekend we just had. A lot of fun to get to see what these teams are capable of.
Absolutely. And of course on the Chinese side, again, neither team able to really field their full roster. So that is a bit unfortunate, but it's more off-season events for those two as well. And especially, of course, notably, a big one being held in China itself. So curious to see how they'll look towards the end of the year when the Radiant Asia Invitational happens. But yeah, plenty of more off-season events for all 4 of these teams. So I think more than anything, for the winning teams and the winning region this weekend for Korea, it's just a lot of exciting hope looking forward to 2025, especially given the roster swap. So let's welcome them onto the stage.
Here we go. Genji and T1 gonna come out on the stage to a big round of applause from the fans here. Sold out crowd both days. Really awesome stuff here in Gwangju. And just great performances all around. I mean, a lot to be happy about. And excited. I'm so excited for next year, dude. It's for VCT.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, VCT Pacific, when we heard all the news, it was already pretty exciting. But again, we've been disappointed before, so we were all a little cautious. But I think looking at how they're all performing throughout the
Bumagi hadiah,
season
guys.
looks good. Just hearing Karan's thoughts here. And just saying that even though it's the off season, it feels good to see both teams that come together with
Lihat
full
Meteor
rosters and looking good so
bertemu
far.
kembali.
And individually, I'll be honest, I'm not satisfied with how I played for the weekend. Wow, Karan really holds himself up to some high standards.
Yeah, no kidding. He played pretty darn good.
It does look like a Texture was kind of ribbing on him from the side there off camera.
Well, I mean, come on. Texture was frying the whole weekend, bro.
Yeah. Some high standards here for Genji. But there's so many fans out here in the audience, so it looks like we might have a chance to hear from all of the players, right? Normally it's going to take a little while, so we thought we might skim over it, but Meteor, his first Korean tournament here in Korea as a T1 member, so he's happy to have represented them to success, and he hopes that fans will continue to support him and T1 as well.
I have a feeling they will.
Yeah, I think so.
되게 좋은 것 같아서 기분이 좋고요. 그리고 또 뭐
Texture,
제가 뭐 광주나 부산 이런 데
feeling
어디
good
가보겠습니까? 또 이런
that,
좋은
it's a good
기회가
start in
있어서
the
너무
off season,
좋았고
and of
만나서
course,
너무 좋았고.
Texture also from the southern part of Korea,
앞으로도
so
이제
he's
뭐
just
많은
happy to
대회가
have an
남아있으니까
opportunity to
많이들
come out to the other
잘
parts outside of
지켜봐
Seoul
주세요. 열심히 해서
and to meet with the
재밌는
fans,
경기
and plenty of
보여드리도록
more
하겠습니다.
opportunities awaiting them. So he's looking forward to delivering on that performance, and a big cheer. We don't even have like proper crowd mic set up, but we still hear it here this time around for Texture. And Izu going into his second year in T1. And while it was a Korea versus China tournament, he's happy that Korea was able to kind of dominate, since there is a little bit of regional rivalry across a lot of esports here. And he hopes that, all the Korean teams will be able to bring some good results.
Halo, Green
Like
Joe.
the Texture's like looking at, just his baby growing
Ini
up.
juara
on the
tadi
side. He's like, yeah,
jadi
that's
sama
good,
T1.
that's good.
Udah selesai.
Buzz also, his
Ini
first
cuman
home
bagi hadiah doang.
member.
Yang juara tim Korea.
He's just happy that they came out victorious, ending on a high note, and he'll be working hard for the next opportunity.
Bentar
which
lagi
again, as we
gua off
mentioned
sih bentar lagi.
T1, it should be that Red Bull Homeground tournament coming up.
Kalau sempat nanti, tapi sore ya. Sore kan ada ini Valorant. Gak ada lagi ya, udah habis. Ini turnirnya cuman hari kemarin sama hari ini.
He's very, very appreciative of the staff as well on Genji for all the support. And thank you so much to the fans for cheering them
Cuman 2
on
hari.
all weekend. He just looks happy on this season roster.
He's just such a happy guy.
Yeah, he always has been actually, even on DRX. Yeah, he's a pretty jolly guy.
Iya, paling kayak gitu deh. Jadi Mika tuh ada 4 tim nih, 4 tim. T1, Genji, Trash Esports sama EDG. 4 tim ini tanding selama 2 kali. Nah, dicarilah yang paling atas itu siapa? Gak ada. Karena salah satu tim Korea. Karena undangannya emang tim Korea lawan tim Cina, bukan tim Korea lawan tim Korea.
Munchkin just hopes that we'll continue to have more events, on the other parts, in the other parts of Korea as well.
Juga sih, kalau Valo paling nanti game challengers.
Just asking for all the support, stacks.
Game challengers paling. Kalau tim-tim yang franchise udah gak ada sih.
And thanking the fans. The players really racking their brains to see how much more original they can get down the line here.
Yeah. Just waiting for one of them to be like, 감사합니다.
Yeah, just thank you. Yep. Yeah, but Yeoman actually giving a shout out to the venue as well. Just happy to have had a chance to play here in the Gwangju Esports Arena. We love to see that. And HSK and Solo. HSK, he was hoping that they would do well because it was Foxy9's hometown. And he's happy that they could deliver. And Solo, happy to represent the Korean teams and just thanking the fans, just keeping it short.
사실 쉽게 볼 수 없는 그림이긴 합니다. 이렇게 두 팀의
And I mean, it's great to see. I mean, T1 and Genji also just he's such massive brands in Korean esports.
Huge. Huge. And it's great to see them have success, to put these rosters together, to give these players the support that they need to be successful as well. These coaching staffs and the other staff behind the scenes that help support the players and everything. It's been absolutely phenomenal for these guys the last couple of years, and it only is bright the future here.
Well, thank you so much to everyone who joined us, and good things ahead for VCT Pacific and Korean Valorant. Thank you to all the players, of course, for the great performance, and I think you should be excited for these two kind of super squads here on the Korean teams of T1 and Genji. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in another off-season event here in the Pacific.
Udah selesai nih. Championsnya 2 tim ini. Thank you guys, thank you sih udah nonton ya, udah temanin tadi. Lumayan 2 jam lah, udah temanin. Thank you ya. Go off dulu, bye-bye. Thank you Sativa.